All right, hey everybody, welcome back. Another news feed here for you. This one, Ford Ranger redesign slated before decade's end with a refresh coming. Current generation of the Ford Ranger debuted in a handful of global markets in 22 and 23 model year, and it arrived here in 2024 with the new upgraded Ranger that we have here. For some reason, a Ranger always gets everything cool overseas before we get it here. I really wish we could get the Ranger Super Duty here. Man, that would be amazing. But anyway, that's where we're sitting at here. But it says here, Ford Authority recently reported that it now expects to happen in 2027 for the mid-cycle refresh. As for the next Ford Ranger redesign, it seems it will follow before the end of the decade as well too. And so Ford Ranger is currently expected to be treated to a redesign in 2029, a redesign. 2 years after its mid-cycle refresh. The same report noted that Ranger could get a hybrid powertrain as part of that refresh. So they're kind of mixing some things in here, and it says Ford will plans to add hybrid power across the entire ICE-focused blue oval lineup by 2030. So they kind of got this worded where you're chasing it around. What it boils down to is that we are going to get a mid-cycle refresh, which we don't know what that'll be. Just a little dressing up is supposed to happen that should happen in 2027. So in 2027, next year, we should get a refresh. And then they're talking about a full redesign, completely treated redesign in 2029, 2 years after the mid-cycle refresh. Now, what we don't know is if that is going to actually happen for us here, because in the U.S. we did not get it until 2024, where they got it in 22 and 23 in Australia and other parts of the world. Well, does that mean that the refresh will happen in 2027 over there, and then we get it here later? Does that mean that the 2029 current redesign will be for them over there, and then we get it here a year or two later, like what happens as we see here? So I'm not quite sure how this is going to pan or what's going on, but we do know that there's a a refresh coming to it pretty quick. And that by the end of the decade, they're talking about another brand new design of the actual Ford Ranger. So we shall see what that means. When Ford redesigns things, they're still very subtle. Even at 2019, the last gen to this gen, is not that big of a difference. I mean, they're really not that big of a difference. Put it this way, if you didn't own one or didn't follow them, and you saw a Ranger going down the road, you probably wouldn't know which one it was until you actually, you'd have to look at them to see the difference. Same with the F-150s. It takes a long time for them to really start changing too much, where a lot of other trucks, you can notice it pretty dang quick, pretty simple. So, and that's a good thing. I like that Ford kind of follows the Ford suit. I love the look of the Ranger. I think it's a beautiful truck, amazing truck. I just don't like Ford's pricing on it, but it sure is a great truck. So anyway, that's what's happening there. So otherwise, we could see the addition of new variants such as a Tremor, which would be, it was on sale for the last gen. It would be nice to see a Tremor here, although I don't really think it adds a whole lot. Little better suspension, little more skid platey kind of thing, and it's but it's still only a rear locker. You got the Ranger Raptor with the front and the rear lockers. I don't know if they're going to take the time to put a Tremor out for this one or not. I really don't know. What might happen is they might give the refresh overseas, and while they get the refresh, we get a Tremor. That very well might be what happens. So we'll have to see. And it says the Broncos following suit, doing the same kind of approach there, currently planning on being redesigned in 2029 as well too. So that's where that's sitting at. Next one here, Nissan. Nissan is shutting down design studios in U.S., Brazil, and downsized London, Japan operations. All part of their trying to restructure here. It will close its design center in California and Sao Paulo, and scale back operations in London and Japan as part of its realignment of its global design organization. They said this on Tuesday. Completed by end of the fiscal year 2025, the changes are part of its broader Nissan plan. Will consolidate its design organizations into 5 hubs: Los Angeles, London, Shanghai, Tokyo, and Japan's Tsagi. Nissan said Los Angeles Studio 6 will become primary for U.S. design hub. London will continue to support automakers in Africa, Middle East, and India and Europe, and the Oceania regions in collaborations with partner Renault. The CEO Espinoza, who took over in April and May, unveiled a re-Nissan turnaround plan to restore profitability. It included measuring such as cutting global production capacity to 2.5 million vehicles from 3.5 million and manufacturing sites to 10 from 17 by the end of 2027. All part of their plan. Okay, you're going to hear all kinds of Nissan shutting down studio. You hear all this crap. This is all part of the plan. Like I said, they are doing everything they can to become very profitable again. Smartest company out there, in my opinion, right now. When other companies, when domestic brands have problems, all they do is they put their hand out and say, somebody give me more. Come on, give me. Let the taxpayers pay for it. Well, we're charging you $120,000 for a truck. Let the taxpayers for it. Nissan is not. Nissan is like, it's our problem. We'll solve it. And they're doing a killer job of it. They are crushing it and doing a fantastic job. I love that. Next one here. Hyundai. We knew that they were going to be working with GM to make a new truck. They are not anymore. Honda does need America's help to build its new pickup truck. So, Hyundai announced a significant new investment coming to America. A body-on-frame pickup truck. At first, Hyundai was divulged a few details beyond the new truck arriving before 2030, but Honda didn't rule out one option. The brand is not partnering with GM to use its midsize truck platform for America. We've made videos about this. Okay, it was in talks. Hyundai and GM were gonna go together and build their own or build a truck together. That was the plan. They said they're not. Hyundai's new truck will not be a rebadged Chevy Colorado, so they're not doing that route. Hyundai signed a major partnership deal with GM. Two companies will co-develop an electric van for the American market and pickups for Central and South America now. Reports suggest that Hyundai wanted GM's help building a truck on its midsize platform, but that is now not happening. Honda CEO confirmed that the Korean brand plans to develop its own new North American pickup truck in-house. The mid-size truck is a big opportunity. We're very confident in our own abilities to develop in this type of program. And he told the media after this event, and I agree, look at the Tasman. I want the Tasman here more than you could imagine. This thing is so nice. I love the Kia Tasman. Bring this here. I will buy it in a heartbeat. It is crushing it over there. And will this provide the basis for the new truck, the Tasman? I sure hope so. I sure hope they do. It says, building bespoke platform for single vehicles is the least cost-effective way to manufacture a car. It's hard to see Hyundai take that approach, even if the brand also plans to build an SUV version. If Honda does try to use an existing platform, the underpinnings behind a new Tasman pickup could be the basis for the new and hopefully less weird-looking Hyundai truck. You can call it weird-looking all you want. I think it looks tough as nails. I love it. I'm not a huge fan of these little kicker over fender things on here, but I do love this truck, especially when you see some of the aftermarket ones done up and lifted. Thing's amazing. I love this truck. I think it's an excellent truck and would love to see it. Kia opted not to develop the Tasman pickup for the American market originally, but it's unclear whether that was due to the platform's unsuitability or Kia not having the right powertrains for North America. Kia confirmed it would build an electric truck for America, which could happen on Tasman's platform, so it's possible Hyundai could develop a version of that truck, maybe even a new e-Rev technology, also confirmed at the CEO Investors Day. E-Rev being like the Scout is going to be, where you actually have a small engine powering and recharging electric motors. That is the future. That's how everything's going to go, in my opinion. Better rather than hybrid systems. It'll be a reverse hybrid. So I like it. We'll see.